What's up, everybody? This is Greg with Advantage One Brokers, and this is the ADV1 podcast. This is the podcast we come to you each and every weekday with relevant topics and trainings, and we bring on guest speakers. And today, my guest speaker is Mr. Mike Turner. Mike, how you doing, brother? How are you?
I'm hanging in there, my man. Hanging in there, Greg. Appreciate you. Just want to go ahead and give a shout out to everybody here with the Advantage One Brokers. Thank you guys for this opportunity. Patrice, Jennicoro, Greg, you guys are amazing. I just wanted to go ahead and say personally, thank you for showing me this opportunity. I'm forever grateful. And I will follow you guys to the end of the world, man, for sure.
I appreciate that, man. It's very kind of you. To get started, so first off, I like to do a little administrative notes. We have, because you were talking about the shirt, you like it, my hashtag transparency shirt.
Love it.
So we have all our hashtag shirts in the Advantage One Brokers store. That's on the Advantage One Brokers website. You can go there to get shirts, polos, shorts, pants, hoodies, pullovers, all kinds of stuff. So go check out the merch store. You can get shirts for the field, or if you just want to rock them while doing podcasts. So
well, I'm gonna rock mine just in general.
Just sit at home.
I believe me. Be transparent. Don't lie.
So Mike, one of the reasons that I wanted to bring you on is because we had an agent that started with us back at the beginning, and she came over with us, and she was offered, higher comp. She was offered money to go back, and she did. And that was back in August. And then in September, she said, at the start of September, she had a bunch of money in her account. And she was like, now I've got like $4,000 to show for it. I've spent so much on leads. These leads aren't panning out. I'm getting chargebacks. I'm getting this. I'm getting that. And she came back. She's like, I made a mistake. I should not have went back. I want to come back. So her and I had a conversation. And I'm sure she'll be getting on a podcast here soon. But she had also talked with you, and she'd had a conversation with you, a very candid conversation. And she reached out and she said, hey, I talked to Mike, and just based on what he told me, like, I'm ready to do this. And so what I want to do is just kind of bring you on and talk about what that conversation was between you and her, and what your thought process was about coming over, the differences in the system when it comes to leadership, et cetera, and just let you break it down.
Okay. Well, so when I spoke with her, she was already kind of in the transition. She told me everything that had happened to her, and I just started asking her questions like, okay, so what was your experience over there at the previous IMO? So she started telling me what happened and why she went back, and how she was gonna have she was gonna have the mortgage protection leads and stuff in certain counties, and she was basically telling me everything that they told her. So I told her, I just said, okay, so that's great, but I said, well, where were the leads before when you first started? Why is it that you were leaving now and now you're getting access to these mortgage protection leads? What's changed? She's like, oh, well, because I was about to leave. So I told her, I just said, look, where we're at now is, Advantage One. They're giving access to everybody. You have the money to buy the leads, buy the leads. It's not hoarded for just the people who are in their direct connection or their inner circle. It's not like that. Mm-hmm. You're wearing a shirt called transparency. That's what you guys have been practicing. That's what I've experienced here with Advantage One from the very beginning. I've told her this is how it was. I came in. They allowed me to try I tried out the telesale leads. It was gold. I'm sitting here talking to people who they know my name when I'm talking to them. Like, all the work that I had to do before was completely different. Mm-hmm. Now she was on the fence, and she was just like, well, I don't know if it's going to be the best option for me. I told her just like this, look, you're a leader. If you have people up under you, you owe it to yourself and to them to do the best that you can do for your situation, right? So if you feel that you're getting chargebacks, you're wasting money, how can you physically and mentally recruit others on your team knowing that you can barely succeed? Does it make sense? That's the salesman part that come out of me right there.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense
Doesn't
because
make
we talk to
sense.
people and we ask these questions all the time.
Yeah.
All I did was just do the same thing I do to a regular customer, but I talk to her the same way. Doesn't make sense. You have to answer your own questions. Do you want to make money and have freedom and be able to be with your family, whether you have kids? I already know if you're married and you have a husband, his wife does not want him gone for 10 to 15 hours a day.
Yeah.
I would want my wife gone. I need some, hook meal with some good meals. I'll help with the kids. It's, you're taking away from your family time. And I've experienced that. I was in a relationship and probably could have been a good part of that demise because I was always stressed, struggling, and very much into, focusing more on work and trying to make money and trying to stay afloat to keep bills and stuff paid, as opposed to catering to the relationship that I was in. Well, this time around, it's completely different, And so I was letting her know that, this is going to change your life, but you have to believe in yourself. I can't tell you that this is going to be better for you unless you believe in your heart that this is something that you want to do.
Yeah.
And I was just talking to her. I even spoke with her dad, and I just want, I'm like, I kind of want to give them a shout out too. Hey, Joanna. Hey, Jeff. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys. But I want everybody to know that this is when you come here and you deal with the people with Advantage One, whether it's you, me, or Patrice or Jenna Coro, or even some of the other people. I don't know them too well, but I know the people who I spoke about just right now. What you're going to get is family. We want to help you guys. We want to save the agents who were struggling before. We were once I'm still that person. I'm not going to sit there and act like I'm balling. No, I'm not. I'm catching up right now. But I have the opportunity to make the money that I need to make to provide for my family. And I owe it all to, honestly, you, Greg, because you started the snowball effect, man. Like, believe it or not,
I took a massive leap of faith
to make everybody start thinking. Yeah, you did. But look how many people followed you, man. You were like Moses in the Red Sea right now, bro. Like, it's the truth. It's crazy. It's because I was around. Like I was actually at the LA convention at the previous IMO, and I saw you up there, and you had made that crazy month. I think it was April. You made almost $200,000 or something that month.
Yeah.
And I was there, and I'm looking up to you and all the higher ups up there, like, hey, I want to be just like them. But when I saw that you left, and the reason why you left, and I had to really, take some time and really like think about it, I'm like, well, damn, why don't I do the same thing? I mean, what am I going to lose here?
Yeah.
I'm like, as far as the amount of money that you're going to spend on BS leads and the emotional stress that you're going to put on yourself, your mind, your body, and your family, is it worth it? That's the question that's the question I had to ask myself. Yeah. Was it worth it? Because leaders lead, and they lead from the front. Whether you're going to lead them down a dark alley or you're going to lead them to the promised land, you're going to have to lead them somewhere.
Yeah.
Which one you going to do? I'm not going to go ahead and open up that conversation about what me and Joanna actually said, but that's the gist of what I was talking about. And I wanted her to kind of get that understanding that, this is going to be as great as you want it to be, but there's an opportunity here. And if you want the opportunity, you got to take it by the horns. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned just now, the emotional and mental stress, and you and I talked before, previously, before, starting the podcast, and you were talking about, just the stress that you'd have on Mondays and Thursdays when you'd go to dial these, and how like you would get anxiety because you knew that you were going to have to dial hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times over all these leads, and that they were going to be yelling at you, cursing at you, hanging up on you. You don't even know these people, but talk a little bit about that. And because I think there's a lot of people that's something that's not really acknowledged, is the anxiety of having those 2 days that you have to, and knowing that you have to dial basically like white pages. It's like dialing random people that didn't even ask for something. That's what it's like. It's probably worse than that.
It actually is, because I think I I mean, if I was calling from the white pages, people would be like, "Oh no, you had the wrong number," or
Yeah.
it would they would be much settled because they didn't have 20 other agents calling about the same thing. It would literally just be just me just calling random people.
Mm-hmm.
But what I experienced calling all these different leads that was bullshit. It was basically, I mean, on Mondays, 8 o'clock in the morning, after I'm leaving the gym and after I'm getting myself together, I didn't even want to half the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know this is the only way for me to make money. So I would spend about $1,000 a week. I would buy maybe, however much that was in the whatever was in the CRM at the time. Mm-hmm. And in LA, in California, in Southern California, where I'm located, there's a lot of agents out here. So if you didn't get to the batch, like if you didn't get on it as soon as possible, the leads were gone. So it would be times where I just had to get creative, start posting stuff on Instagram or whatever. That's beside the point. When I was utilizing their CRM system and dialing these people, I was getting cussed out. People were saying that, oh, well, you know what? You just called the other day. I'm like, this is my first time calling you. This just hit my email today. Like, I don't even know you. Why are you? People are yelling at me, cussing me out, hanging up in my face. And then, they were calling me back to cuss me out. I didn't even say that. People called me back to cuss me out and tell me never to call their effing phone again because they don't need my services. Mm-hmm. There was many times where, people they don't even know they don't even know why I'm calling. People didn't even know what I was calling for. And these were all instant internet life leads or instant internet leads. And it was just a shit show. And then, I'm driving all over the place. Now, imagine anybody on this podcast who has not been to Los Angeles, you can sit in traffic going 10 miles and it's going to be an hour and a half. Easy, especially in rush hour traffic. So I'm doing this, getting porched. I'm late to appointments. They don't want to hear what I have to say because I'm already an hour and a half late because I'm sitting in traffic. And then it was shunned upon to even close deals over the phone for the longest. And I had closed some kind of deals prior to me coming to Advantage One because I just didn't feel like getting out of bed, or they lived all the way in Palm Springs, which is 2 hours from my house. I wasn't going to go all the way out there, or they might live in Needles or something like that, which is still 2.5 hours from where I live. I just didn't feel like driving all the way out there just to get porched. And honestly speaking, I did that a few times. I went to Palm Springs from LA and got all the way out there. And the lady told me that her husband went to the hospital and I'm stuck. I'm doing door knocks and people don't want to open their door. It's hot. I'm burning up. And shit, I'm a 6-foot black dude at your front door. They're scared. They don't even know who I am or why I'm there. That's just how it is. Like they don't want to talk to me. So, it got depressing. And then, it caused a lot of issues within, people that were around me because I'm missing, first days of school. I mean, I'm missing family time and all kind of stuff just because I'm trying to go chase this dollar. But was it worth it? And it wasn't. Honestly, I regret doing all of it because I was following a system that was an older system. That's how things used to be. This is before COVID. This is 20 years ago, maybe that might have worked. Times are changing. And I know now that that was not the way for me to be. And like I said, I mean, the stress, Mondays and Thursdays were like my worst days. I was very irritable. I did not I don't want to be bothered. I was always in a bad, I was depressed. I mean, I just didn't know. And then we can talk about chargebacks. That's the biggest thing for me as well, because they had us pushing this one company that was more expensive than everybody else, all because they paid us the quickest. Then I look up later on down the line, I'm $5,000 in debt with one company and $2,000 in debt with another. I'm $7,000 in the debt, and I got everyday bills that I have to meet. I have bills that's piling up every month that I have to take care of. Mm-hmm. So I have to, even though this product would actually work better for them, I have to sell them a product that I know I'm going to get paid for just to be able to pay my rent for the first of the month. That's not helping me. That's not helping the client or myself, if you think about it. Yeah. If I'm selling them like that was basically, that's when I knew right there, I had to get away from, using that company. I had to really do what was best for the client because I don't want my integrity to be compromised based off of me having to feed my family and them having to make sure that they're going to get the most for their the most for their buck. And so yeah, that's generally that's what my experience was with the previous IMO. Again, nothing against them, but for what my experience was, I'm glad I left. And anybody who's still over there at the previous IMO and you guys are doing good and you're successful, by all means, I'm happy for you. It just wasn't for me, and I had to do what I had to do to make sure that my family and the people who were leading and who were up under me is going to be able to really thrive and produce in the best possible way.
Well, it's very powerful, man, that you shared all that with us. I appreciate it. Ever since you've come over, how's the transition been? I know you talked a little bit about doing telesales. What's that look like for you? What's your production turned into? How is your work-life balance now? Let's dig into that.
So my work-life balance has been great. Like, I mean, I used to be tired from, driving all over LA and Southern California trying to, handle deals and do all this other stuff. Now I'm just tired because my little boy is just he wants to be the new Chris Brown. So every time a Chris Brown song comes up, he's dancing and doing combos and stuff. So I get to enjoy stuff like that. We get to have beach, days. We can go to the raging waters in the summertime, and we got some other stuff playing. But as far as the production, $250 brought me back $2,500. As a matter of fact, let me scratch that. $3,500 off a $250 investment. Okay,
that's not bad.
That's deep. Now, again, I'm playing catch up, so I had other things to pay off, but I no longer have to worry about if my rent is going to be paid on time or not. Mm-hmm. I don't have to worry about if my car note is going to be paid for on time or not. It's honestly speaking, out of the 20 leads, and that's only for 20 telesale leads, mind you. That's not for $1,000 for 100 leads that you got to burn through for 4 to 5 hours, calling them 3 or 4 times. Half the time I'm calling these people, I'm calling them once or twice. I leave a message, they're calling me right back. Reason being is there's a recording that I listen to before I even call these people. So I already kind of know what they're expecting from this call. I call them and tell them who I am, why I'm calling. I use the Advantage One script, and it's gold. Like, I don't close everybody. I mean, some of them are broke. They don't have any money, or they don't have a banking account, or no, Social Security benefits, whatever the case may be. But out of the 20 leads I've spoken with, between 11 and 15 people, that's deep. I was calling 100 people and only getting in contact with maybe 10 out of 20 people, maybe 10 or 15 people out of 100 leads. Spending 8 hours calling them, dialing them constantly, take a break, go right back and dialing them. So I'm happy to get on the phone now. I'm excited to talk to people now. Like, it makes more sense for me to sit here and, and then it's like they tell you when you want to talk. So on all the telesale leads, though, the person who basically speaks with them first, I call it the pre-appointment. Whoever they speak with, they tell them. So when's the best time do you want them to call you? Oh, well, call me in the morning, call me in the afternoon, call me in the evening. So now I get to bunch up what I'm going to do. I might have 5 people to call in the morning, 6 people to call in the afternoon, and maybe the rest of them are going to be in the evening. But I'm not even spending more than maybe an hour and 30 minutes, if that. And the only reason why it's so long is because I listen to every 2 to 3 minute conversation before I call them. That's deep. Yeah. And when I'm calling them in the script that they use, they're telling them my local agent Mike is going to call you. That's that's already the barrier. They subconsciously, they already know a person named Mike is going to call them. Mm-hmm. And then all I do is, whatever they say in that recording, I just repeat it back to them. Hey, my name is Michael Turner. I'm with one, or I'm with this, the National Care Center, or whatever they say on the phone. I just tell them. I just piggyback on it. Hey, I'm Michael Turner. I'm with Senior Life Care. Just want to go ahead and reach out to you. You spoke to my colleague maybe about 3 or 4 days ago. He had a really choppy accent, kind of sounded like a foreign person, but he told me that you needed some information. And he said that the security question was your favorite color was red, and your beneficiary was going to be your daughter. Right there. Oh, yeah. That's me. Oh, how can I help you? One thing I don't do, I don't try to. I talk to him right then and there. As soon as I get you on the
My
phone,
dog's going nuts.
I'm talking to you right then and there. I believe it. It's all right. But no, because I mean, there's with the previous IMO, everything was to try to make an appointment for the next day or the next few days. But chances are, if you're doing anything over the phone, they have 30 minutes to talk to you.
Yeah,
you're already there. If they're in the if they're at the doctor appointment or something like that, then that's different. They're going to tell you, "Oh, please call me back. I'm doing something." That's fine. But if I can get you on the phone, hey, it's going to take me 15 minutes, 20 minutes, so I can see. So let's just hammer this out, and then I get right into the script, and then either you're going to close or you're not. But it's having to speak with between 11 and 15 people out of 20 leads is worth my money.
Yeah.
So that basically means if I spend $500 and I get 40 to 45 leads, I'm going to speak to at least 25 to 30 people. I'm okay with that. I'm generally fine with that off a $500 investment, as opposed to spending $1,000 only speaking with 2 or 3 people, booking 10 appointments or 15 appointments, but only speaking and really sitting down with the max 5. The max is 5 people, and you're going to be porched. You're going to be wasting money on gas, wear and tear in your car. It just didn't make sense, honestly. And this does. This is the way.
Sounds like a no-brainer.
You know, this is where the new age is going to be. Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes you have to. My mom and my uncles had a saying: you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. That's the truth. I can tell you until I'm blue in the face that this is a better opportunity, but until you believe it for yourself and you take that leap of faith, you won't know. So, I mean, I advise anybody who's listening in, take my word or don't. I really don't care. But I want you guys, I want anybody who comes to Advantage One and wants to work with us over here, you owe it to yourself to be in a better predicament. And that's it. I mean, this isn't any type of recruitment call or anything like that, but this is just being honest. You owe it to yourself to be put in a better predicament. Yeah. And there's tons of places to go, but you know, it is what it is.
And if you're a manager at our previous IMO or another IMO, and your system is not conducive to help agents win, and you're hiring people into that system, it's your responsibility to make sure you put them into a system where everybody can win, no matter where they're at.
Absolutely.
Honestly, that is your responsibility. So
it is. No, absolutely, Greg. And I, like I said, when I saw that when I saw your first video, honestly, Patrice is gonna hate me for this, but me and Patrice had a long conversation, and we were talking about it. And I was telling you, we were scared to death. Mm-hmm. I was scared. I'm like, man, look, all this stuff is going on. I don't know if they're gonna hate me when I leave, or like, what's going on. And I'm like, I'm hearing all the stuff that they're saying about Greg. I'm not going to repeat it. It's not, that's your business, Greg. So, I don't.
Most of it's fake.
I know. But so again, I'm not gonna open up that Pandora's box. Yeah. That's not my character. But when I'm hearing how they treated you, and I saw what they were doing to you, and you were a really big person in that company, that spoke volume to me, because that's called character. If you're going to slander your brother's name because you guys have a disagreement, or he wants to better himself, how does that make you look? Yeah. And we have to think about that. You know, we have to really understand that these, you know, people have to do what's best for their family. But if you feel like you made the best decision for you and yours, how can we be mad at you for that? See, that's where greed and stuff starts to play into effect, because now they know that they can't make money off of you, and you were one of the best workhorses over there. And same thing with Jenna Coro, same thing with Patrice and some of the other cats. Even John Kennedy. I don't know him personally, but I've watched him on podcasts, and he's a beast. I mean, all you guys are beasts. So once they start to lose that, and there's a sense if all these high ups are leaving, there's a reason behind it. It's because you you guys were basically figuring out that the system was not working as good as they said that it was. And I figured that out, and I was nowhere near a big person in the previous IMO. I just happened to get Andrew his first job at the grocery store. If you guys have ever heard that story, I was that friend who got him his first job at Stater Brothers years ago. so that's all it was. And again, nothing negative to say about any of the higher ups over there, but yeah, it's our job to basically bring these people to the promised land, because if not, it's just not going to work. So anybody who's going back and forth, flip flopping, and you have anybody up under you, it doesn't make sense for you to stay over there, because now you owe it to them to make sure that works, honestly, because you've taken what they've given you, and then your team is realizing it. So a lot of the times people might not trust, they might not trust you to lead them anymore because of that. So, it can have a good or a bad effect. Yeah. People can trust you 100%. You might have made a mistake, but they still believe that, you know what's best because you have more experience. That's completely fine. There's nothing against that, but you have to make the right decisions. And in this business, I really can say that Advantage One has given me what I've always wanted, and that was freedom. I'm not chained to anything. I'm not chained to going inside home. I can sell stuff all across the globe. I mean, all across the nation if I wanted to. As long as I'm licensed in that state, I don't have to literally buy a plane ticket, get an Airbnb or a hotel, and a rental car, which would have cost me $2,000 just to go out there and I can literally do this from the comfort of my house. I just got to get up a little bit early if I'm still on the East Coast. But I mean, I have the opportunity, and they did not have that over there. So again, I'm just excited for the growth that we're going to have here. I love the fact that everybody here is transparent. The higher ups are letting us know what's happening when it's happening. There's nothing behind the scenes. And I feel like that right there is what really got me to really want to move over. Because again, I've never paid for a mortgage protection lead at the previous IMO. Not one. I had the money to do so multiple different times, but I was not fortunate enough to be in that inner circle to be able to get that. And I don't even know how much they cost. I think they were like $100 a lead or something like that. It's completely different.
Yeah, it depends on the county, depends on the BPL, depends on if it was a retro, if it was a fresh, depends on the company. There's a lot of things that go into it. I like that here, no matter where you get it from, period, $50. It doesn't matter what county you're in.
Exactly.
So,
and then one thing I do like, they have the age mortgage protection leads that's in our system, right? Mm-hmm. The guy basically told us, he said, look, it wasn't the age mortgage protection leads, it was the B leads. He said, I'm gonna be honest with you. These leads are from Facebook. They might not be the best leads, but they are cheap. If the previous IMO told us that those leads were just like that, we wouldn't be feeling the way that we feel now.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, if they would have because people don't want to be lied to and taken advantage of, and I feel like that's what was happening, and that's what's continuing to happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? Don't lie to us, because we're investing in business because this is what is the formula to keep money flowing in for our families and for the people around us. So don't lie to us as opposed to what you're doing. Those CRM leads were the worst I've ever experienced. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna sit there and lie like I didn't make any money off of them. I did, but it was so much work and so much sweat, blood, and tears that went into that. I wouldn't say blood because we're not fighting, but I felt like it, honestly. I mean, shit, they were pissing me off. I mean, I was so emotional at times to where if somebody didn't want to close the deal, I'm upset with them. Like, dude.
Yeah. How many hours of dialing did you have to get that appointment that you finally sat with? That it's just like, man, I friggin', it took me 7, 8, 9, 10 hours of dialing these 100 leads just to set 10 appointments, and 6 of them have already canceled on me. this is
Absolutely.
this is, I've got 4 appointments left. This is 3 of the 4. I got to make this work.
And that's the worst feeling as an agent.
Yeah.
Because because what we don't realize is our words we're using against ourselves. We are our biggest critics. So if you're putting that in your mind, I have to do this, but I don't know if this is going to work. What if they cancel? What if this happens? Those what ifs are being manifested in our universe. Most of the time, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell you how many times I'm like, oh shoot, they ain't got no money. I'm not gonna make this sale. That's exactly what the hell happened. I didn't make the sale because it's the mindset. And I like that board behind you. It says mindset.
Yeah.
That's the truth. If you don't have the proper mindset and you're not in a predicament to where you're gonna grow as a salesman, as a business person, or even just your team. Me and Patrice talked. We still talk at least, if not every day, every other day about the business. We hold each other accountable, and it's the leadership for us. I wouldn't have made that jump if Patrice wasn't the person that was. If she wasn't my upline, honestly, if she was not my upline, and if she did not basically reach out and be like, Mike, look, this is a better opportunity for us. I think this is perfect. I followed her to the promised lands, and I haven't looked back since. Because honestly speaking, that's the leadership that we provide over here with Advantage One. That's the leadership that I know you, Jenna Coro, Patrice, and some of the others around here. That's what they provide. Because you know what, I was a low end agent over there at the previous IMO. I was not even. I mean, I was on the leaderboards. I consistently made the leaderboards, but I was not number one or anything like that. I was like maybe top 15, if that. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I'm not the best, but I was dedicated and I'm passionate. Okay, and I really want to help those who are feeling left out. If there's an ear that's going to be lend, I want to be able to voice my opinion and give you the information that can help you. Like, I mean, I just got off the phone talking to someone earlier today, and they're just now making the transition from the previous IMO. They didn't have anybody to talk to. I'm always here. And Patrice has told me, and that's how she was with me. She was always there for me. And I want to do the same for others. And I feel like if we can continue to do that and grow as a team and as a family, the world is ours. Nothing's going to stop us. We're going to knock out any other IMO because of what our character is. We're building character and helping people and making money doing it. That's the key to this success that I feel that's what we all need as agents, as managers. I mean, period. That's what I feel we should be about. And you know what? I told Patrice that everybody should start calling me Nike because I'm just doing shit. You know what I mean? So that's what my new nickname is going to be, Nike.
I'm gonna start calling you Nike.
Hey, call me Nike because I'm just doing it. You know what I mean? So hey, I'm excited, man, and I'm just very happy. Like I have not felt this way in this insurance business since I started, and I've fairly been in this. Started last year, so this is gonna be my complete year. What I think would have been August was my complete year in just going full time in the insurance industry, and I hated it. Every minute of it, I hated it until I got over here and until I started doing this. I did not like it. I was scared, timid. I mean, I'm a man about mine, but I mean, hearing no's and constantly trying to search for yeses you have to have really, really thick skin. And I didn't get this many no's and cussed out when I was a car salesman. So I really don't want to feel like this when I'm selling insurance, which is completely different and much cheaper to provide for people. So yeah, that's my story from, the transition from the previous IMO to now. And again, if you're scared of telesales, don't be.
It's not
that hard. You can, anybody that's listening to this, you can do it. Just believe in yourself and you got this shit. Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
The people are going to know who you are. You don't have to spend $1,000 and you're not on the phone for more than 45 minutes if you don't want to.
Absolutely.
That's to call all of them. If you want to call all 20 of them at one time, you won't be on the phone more than an hour. guaranteed.
Yeah.
I break mine in spurts, but and then they have the live transfer. I mean, the mortgage protection leads. I mean, there's so many different avenues to make money, and if you're trying to make money, you want to help people, this is it. This is where you need to be.
So. Absolutely. Hey, I appreciate you sharing all that. That was very, very powerful, Mike. If anybody's watching this and they're saying, man, I like the way Mike breaks things down, and they want to hear more about your experience here, or they're kind of timid or shy, kind of like some of the other agents that you talked about, you spoke with, and they want a realistic, transparent talk with somebody that's in it, that's been in both. How could they get a hold of you, Mike?
Call me. I mean, I don't care. My number is 562-241-5455. And he already put my IG up there. It's open, it's public. You might see my son dancing a little bit, but hey, that's fine. But yeah, shoot me a DM. I mean, anything. It's just, like I said, I'm here to help, and I want to help everybody. And if you want to really get a part of what's growing and what's going to become the new Amazon in the insurance business, I don't mind lending it, any advice, any opinions. If you're on the fence about anything, reach out to me. I will basically answer any questions to the best of my ability. And if I don't know, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm just going to say I don't know, and I'll find out for you. But other than that, yeah, give me a call. Once again, number 562-241-5455.
Fantastic. I love it. For all of you watching, thank you so much for partaking and watching our ADV1 podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so you get notifications whenever we have content coming to you each and every weekday. If you want to contact Mike, his number and IG was there. If you got anything from this podcast, whether you were entertained, you got a little nugget of knowledge, you just picked up something from Mike, then the fee is very simple. We just want you to share this content with somebody else that might also get something from it. And so thank you guys for watching. We'll keep up with you guys next